As a child, your mother is usually your first source of love, comfort, and understanding. But what happens when this pivotal figure in your life is a narcissist? The experience can be deeply traumatic, leaving lasting scars that can impact your self-esteem, relationships, and overall mental health. Growing up with a narcissistic mother feels like living in a constant whirlwind of confusion, manipulation, and emotional unavailability. You find yourself constantly striving for approval that never comes, or being reduced to a mere accessory in the grandiose narrative of your mother's life. This emotional roller coaster inevitably leads to feelings of unworthiness, chronic self-doubt, and a deep-seated fear of rejection that follow you long into adulthood. However, while the trauma of growing up with a narcissistic mother is real and profoundly damaging, it does not define you. Nor does it have to dictate the course of your life. Growing up with a narcissistic mother can significantly impact a child's mental, emotional, and even physical well-being. The effects can vary depending on the severity of the mother's narcissism, the child's resilience, and other environmental factors. However, many children of narcissistic mothers share common experiences and struggles. Low self-esteem. Children of narcissistic mothers struggle with low self-esteem. Constant criticism, unfavorable comparisons to others, and conditional love make children feel that they are never good enough. Difficulty trusting others. If a child cannot trust their own mother to meet their emotional needs, they will find it even harder to trust others in their adult life. This inevitably leads to difficulties forming and maintaining healthy relationships. Chronic self-doubt. Children of narcissistic mothers question their worth and abilities, even when they excel in various areas. This chronic self-doubt hinders their personal and professional growth in adulthood. Anxiety and depression. The constant stress of living with a narcissistic mother can lead to mental health issues like anxiety and depression. Children may also develop unhealthy coping mechanisms, such as substance abuse or self-harm. Difficulty setting boundaries. Narcissistic mothers tend to disregard their children's boundaries. As adults, these children will struggle to assert their needs and set healthy boundaries in their relationships. Fear of rejection. After experiencing rejection from their mother, children develop a deep-seated fear of rejection. As a result, they will try to avoid situations that could lead to rejection, potentially limiting their opportunities and personal growth. Trying to deal with a narcissistic mother is a journey fraught with emotional turbulence, confusion, and heartache. However, it's crucial to remember that there are strategies that can help you navigate this challenging relationship. Establishing and enforcing boundaries is an essential strategy when you have to deal with a narcissistic mother. Boundaries, both physical and emotional, are your personal guidelines. They delineate where your needs, desires, and limits lie. Implementing these can be a critical step towards protecting your mental health and preserving your sense of self. One type of boundary to consider is the amount of time you spend with your mother. This doesn't necessarily mean cutting off all contact, but rather finding a balance that allows you to maintain a healthier relationship. This could involve designating certain days or periods for interaction and ensuring you have sufficient time apart to recharge and care for your own needs. Narcissistic mothers can often encroach on sensitive areas of your life or bring up topics that lead to conflict or distress. It's important to identify these triggers and make these subjects off-limits for discussion. Politely, but firmly, steer conversations away from these areas or assertively end the conversation if the boundary is continually ignored. Alongside emotional boundaries, physical boundaries are just as important. This could mean setting rules about unannounced visits to your home, or establishing personal space when you're in the same environment. In the face of resistance or guilt-tripping, remember that it's not only okay but necessary to say no and uphold your personal boundaries. These boundaries are about self-preservation and maintaining healthy relationships, not about causing offense or harm. It may be challenging initially, especially if you're not accustomed to asserting yourself in this way, but with time and practice, it will become more manageable. Always remember, your well-being is paramount and deserving of respect and protection. Interactions with a narcissistic mother can often be laden with hurtful comments, criticisms, or even outright hostility. It's important to understand that these cutting remarks are not reflections of your worth or value, but rather manifestations of her own insecurities, struggles, and personality disorder. Narcissists project their own issues onto others. They use criticism or blame as tools to deflect attention away from their own shortcomings. When your mother says something hurtful, it's more about her own internal turmoil than it is about you. Her comments are a reflection of her worldview, distorted by narcissism, and not an accurate appraisal of who you are. Developing emotional resilience can help you to withstand these hurtful interactions. This involves recognizing your own self-worth independent of her opinion, cultivating a strong support network of friends or loved ones who affirm your value, and engaging in self-care activities that boost your mental health and self-esteem. Another useful strategy is emotional detachment. This means observing her words and actions without letting them affect your emotional state. It's like watching a storm without getting wet. You acknowledge the storm, but you don't let it soak you. Trusted friends and family members can provide a much-needed safe space for you to express your feelings and experiences. They can offer a fresh perspective, emotional validation, and sometimes, just a patient ear to listen. These relationships will also reassure you that you are valued and loved, reinforcing your self-esteem when it is under attack. Connecting with others who are going through similar experiences can be incredibly therapeutic. Support groups, whether in person or online, offer a platform to share experiences, learn from others' coping strategies, and find solace in the shared understanding of the challenges you face. Mental health professionals can be invaluable in these situations. Psychologists, therapists, or counselors can provide targeted strategies to manage your relationship with your narcissistic mother. They can help you navigate your emotions, assert your boundaries, and maintain your mental well-being amidst the challenges. Having to deal with a narcissistic mother can be an immense challenge. The relationship is based on a complex dynamic that involves navigating a sea of emotional manipulation, hurtful comments, and disregard for personal boundaries. However, with the right tools and support, you can navigate this relationship while preserving your mental well-being and sense of self. For more information about narcissists and narcissistic abuse, visit www.carlacorelli.com.